Hi guys, and thanks for watching our update on July 7th, 2023. So today we're going through our satellite imagery, our warnings, our 5-day forecast, our NAO Observed and Forecasted from the GEFS ensemble members, and at the end we'll go through the chart data from weather. So we can see from our satellite that we have a cold front to our west. Ahead of it, we're drawing the wind up from the south and southeast. So today was a very mild and humid day, quite cloudy, but it did break up in the east, allowing some very warm sunshine to poke through. And you can see the sharp cold front to our southwest, corresponding to this area of sharp clouds. Also, some thunderstorms, some big storms across France as I speak at about 10:40 p.m. You can see big storms across France. Of course, there it's I think it's 11:40 because they're 1 hour ahead of us. So that is how it looks right now. We do have a wind warning. We have two wind warnings in force tomorrow. The first one is for the south and southeast. So Munster, Carlow, Kilkenny, and Wexford. So it says unseasonably strong southeasterly winds overnight and for a time on Saturday morning. Strongest in southern and western coastal areas and high ground. Possible impacts are damage to tents and other temporary structures, falling branches, and wave overtopping along parts of the south coast. Valid from midnight till 10 a.m. And we've a second warning for the rest of the country. Same sort of thing, minus the strongest winds on the high ground and on the coastal areas, and minus the impacts of wave overtopping on the coast. And it'll be valid from 6 a.m. to midday. So this warning is more severe than the second one. This is the precipitation. Precipitation and cloud forecast from the UKV, and it shows some. Today we see a few showers in the north, but they die off. I can see that it's quite clear in the east this evening. Some sunshine coming through. Tonight we see a cold front initially moving towards the southwest, bringing a band of heavy rain, and possibly a bit of thunder in there as well. And that moves further northwards through the night. It's the cursor. It's not really reacting to it. Please cooperate. Please cooperate. Please do. I'm begging you, cooperate. Okay, fine. It doesn't want to cooperate. We'll just come back later. Okay, so moving ahead to the NAO index, Observed and Forecast, GEFS. So just to explain that the NAO is the North Atlantic Oscillation. It measures pressure between Iceland and the Azores, and this index can either be positive or negative. If it's positive, it means that you've got lower pressure towards Iceland and higher pressure towards the Azores. In the winter, this gives us our flat zonal westerly flows, and in the summer, it brings us some nice warm and dry weather with an extension of the Azores high. If it's negative, it means that we've got higher pressure towards Iceland and lower pressure towards the Azores. In the winter, that brings us the beach from the east, that sort of thing. Very cold spells, high pressure blocking towards the high latitudes. And in the summer, that brings us, cool and wet weather. And that in the summer isn't really what we want. And as you can see, that through July, since like the end of June, the NAO has trended very much negative, and it will stay negative up until I think this gets us to around the 20th of July, around here, and it's staying negative up until then. That is the on top of mean. A few have it trending a bit more positive there, but the vast majority have it kept negative. So that does mean that, you know, it's July, it's summer, so our weather will be cool and wet. And also just show you that, for example, of a spell where we had a positive NAO was in the second half of May, and you can probably remember that we had a big extension of the Azores high towards Ireland, and that brought a very decent summery sort of spell, with vastly clear sunny skies. Those days are very, very memorable, and that correlated to a positive NAO. And also, just to say that the index doesn't drive the weather, it's the weather that drives the index. So this is absolutely no influence whatsoever on the weather we see. It's the weather that dictates the index. So just to show you that, you know, that clearly does signal, it does represent our very cool and wet July we're having, that negative NAO. This is the GEFS run from today, 12th. You can see that we've got high pressure to our east, low to our west, and blocking to our north. That, you know, that's the reason why the NAO is negative. We've got the blocking to our north and the low pressure force further south. So we're going to push through, and a cold front moves through along that big kink in the ice bars tonight and tomorrow morning. Moves northwards and fades off into tomorrow evening. Winds are up from Biscay, so quite a humid air mass. Cooler than today's air mass, though, it has to be said, with showers coming through, some heavy and thundery. Sunday could see some big downpours. Monday could see a more general area of thundery rain pushing from the south. Tuesday sees showers as the low pressure moves further east. Winds go more northerly or northwesterly, and it was cooler again into mid-July. We go further on, and it stays quite cool and showery up till July 16th. Very, very cool and showery. We keep going. Low pressure is still there. It's still there towards like the 20th. It's still coming in from the west. But at the very end of this run, we do build in some high pressure from the Azores. A little ridge, but some hope. This is the ECM run. We can see that the low pressure does deepen to our west tonight, sending its cold front eastwards and northwards, clearing that humid air off, but quite an unstable air mass will follow, so a lot of convection will take place with thermals and heat, air rising, and the you know, so the I'll just sort of like explain for a second, right? Winds are from the southwest, moisture is in the air, yes. It's quite a clear air mass as well. It's not really cloudy. Upper temperatures are quite cool. So when you have the sun shining on the wet ground, it's quite humid as well, and that will create rapid thermals and a lot of moisture in the air. Convection will be blossoming, and the difference in the surface temperature and the upper temperature will be huge, and that would really help the thermals greatly rise and form these big downpours. So all of those ingredients will just come together to form some big storms on Sunday and possibly Monday as well. In the end, that low does push further eastwards to open door to a cooler westerly or northerly winds, and up into the second half of July we are quite cool and wet. The UK Met run looks like this. So we do see that confidence going through. Low pressure with a lot of convection into the weekend, start next week, before it moves eastwards, and we pull in the wind from the west and northwest, and we go cool and showery. The GEM It's like this. It's all quite bleak. So, as usual, same thing. That low moves towards us for a bit. Very, very strong winds along it, as you can see. There's very, very tightly packed isobars there on that low pressure, especially on their fronts. It clears northwards, and low pressure stays to our west, gradually filling, but still being there, and then move over us into Tuesday, Wednesday, centering towards the North Sea and Denmark, and up into Norway and Sweden and Finland. And another low will form just to our west there on Thursday, and will form like right over us, and pull the wind in from the north as it exits to the east. And I think you can see this little thing there on Monday, July 17th, another little low pressure moving in from the northwest. Constant onslaught this is. Lots of showers and rain, and at the start of thunderstorms. So you can see with the icon, low to our east, high to our west right now, southerly winds, veering more southwesterly tomorrow, backing southerly then on Sunday again, southerly into Monday, low moves eastwards into Tuesday, right over us to Tuesday, winds veering northwesterly by Tuesday evening, quite chilly then, and then we just push through into mid-July, and it goes quite flimsy, yes, but still, that is low pressure in charge, so quite showery at that stage. And this is the arpege run, and you can see, I'm just going to push through. Much the same story. Low pressure will be to our west until Tuesday, when it will move eastwards right over us and bring showers. And by Wednesday at 6 a.m, low pressure is towards Scotland, Shetland, and Faroe Islands, and tracking down the wind from the north. Upper temperatures are quite chilly. Now we're going to try and reload this this North Sea UKV chart. Let's see if it'll work this time. Been misbehaving now. I think it's still intent on misbehaving in some way. Oh no, it's not. I think we're sorted. Okay, so you've redeemed yourself this time. Okay, so starting off with this evening, some clear spells in the east, some nice warm sunshine, as I said, and moving off into tomorrow morning. That cold front moves in from the southwest, bring a line of heavy rain across the country, gradually fading off as it reaches the north, windy as well, and move into tomorrow, widely sunny, but in the west a few showers will develop. And across England there'll be some massive thunderstorms actually, some big downpours there. Look at all of that there, that's really big. Tomorrow night in Ireland, some showers will move into the south, some bright colours there, could be thundery. Moving off into Sunday, some big convection does take place, some big storms blossom, especially towards the Midlands, west and north. Into Sunday nights, we start to see, okay good, a larger spell of thundery rain, could be a cluster of thundery showers moving into the south. That is really intense, very intense indeed. White with reds, and that if that could come off Monday night, could be a real soaker. It could be a massive soaker, especially for the southeast. And then after that clears off, we're left with widespread showers and thunderstorms into Monday afternoon. That'll clear off, and into Tuesday, some more convection. Although showers possibly not as heavy as they were, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Sorry, Sunday and Monday, haha. And then Wednesday, a few more showers, again lighter than previous days. So we're done for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and bye for now.